what exactly is your plan?
Dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun. Dun, 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 dun. That's that music that I can't stand until about 10 seconds into it, and then I'm into it.
You're completely into it every time. So, what is this? 8?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the second part of the last one.
Dead Reckoning Part 2.
Final Reckoning.
Final Reckoning?
Yep.
What was Dead Reckoning?
Probably the
Or did
movie before.
Did I just make it up?
Okay, so Ethan Hunt is still on the hunt for the entity.
Which is a quick recap. It is an AI that is taking over the world with misinformation, false information, and breaking into the nuclear arsenal of every country in the world.
Yeah, and so that's the ticking time bomb. The entity has taken over all the arsenals and is going to launch. But the entity says, you have to go and get this thing and bring it to me so I could be safe after the destruction of the world.
While another guy is saying you have to go get that thing and bring it to him and bring it to that same place in the non-destructible place in the world.
Yeah, so that he can control the entity.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a no-win situation for Ethan Hunt. So, Mission Impossible.
Now, there's a lot less dialogue in this movie than the normal action movies.
There were long sequences
of no talking.
Nothing.
But lots of action.
Yes. Yeah, there's a scene underwater. It's just long scene underwater. No talking, just underwater sounds.
And you're claustrophobic, and you're riveted, and you're holding your breath.
And then there's an aerial scene that takes a very long time. Again, it's just wind whooshing and airplane noises and no dialogue. So,
but you know what's going on the whole time. It's not like you needed explanation.
No.
But they were long scenes.
Well, especially the aerial combat.
Yeah.
I thought that one went on quite a long time.
A little long for that one. But it was the highlight action scene of this movie.
Yeah.
You know, every one of his movies has this one
Yeah.
action. This was the highlight one.
And it was impressive.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy the long underwater scene a lot more.
Yeah, because I found myself holding my breath.
Yeah. So this is Mission Impossible, first of all, because, he's put in a catch-22, and it's impossible. What he has to do is impossible. It's also impossible the things that they actually do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they go right into it, because they even say, we've never tested this, all these different things. And yeah, the stretching of belief has to be there a little bit.
Yeah.
But
never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
But it's an action movie.
Yeah.
And they've always, like, some of the stories that they've had in the past, I did like the fact that we go back to the original Mission Impossible mission in this one with one of the characters that we meet after 30 years.
That wasn't number 3?
No, that's the very first one.
The very first one? Okay.
He has to break into that vault, the very first one.
Yeah, we have a callback cameo.
And it's the guy who was in the vault that they made go to the bathroom and have diarrhea, and they stole the thing, and he finds the knife stuck down that had fallen from Ethan.
Yeah, Ethan is hanging in there. You remember that scene where he's like that?
That's the most famous scene from the Mission Impossibles. And he still has the knife because he knows it almost ruined his life. He was shoved off to Antarctica, for God's sake. It seems, right? For 30 years after that happened to him. So, but I enjoyed, like, the story was, I enjoyed it. Far-fetched, a lot of the stuff. But I'm going to say I still was watching this movie from start to finish.
It was 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
3 hours.
3 hours.
And I enjoyed it the whole way through.
Yeah.
Some long scenes.
Yes. And even the recap in the beginning was long.
But this was an adventure. It felt big.
Yeah.
Not any of these other shows that are just, okay, well, this tiny little adventure, it happens and whatever. No, this felt grand.
Yeah. And just to be clear, if you are wondering, does Tom Cruise run? He runs many times in this movie.
Yeah.
Many times.
At one point, I said, "Are they making him run to catch a jeep?" And then, "Are they making him run to catch a plane?" And he almost catches it.
Yeah. And yes, they are. Yes, they are. Dun, 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 dun. So, yeah. But you know what? The Mission Impossible movies have never disappointed me. I've enjoyed them all.
There were some better than others.
Yeah, of course. But even 2 that people say is the worst one.
Is that the motorcycle one?
That's the motorcycle one.
Yeah.
I still enjoyed it.
Mm.
I still enjoy that one. When I go back, I'll start watching Mission Impossible from start to finish, all through like the series in order. I don't skip 2. I watch it. I say, oh yeah, okay, and then I go on to 3. So yeah, I would highly recommend seeing this one in theaters, just because of the action that's there, and Tom Cruise is still
okay. So here's the thing, like Tom Cruise is my guy, always has been. Is that making me like the movie more than I should?
I think it's because he's still doing his own stunts, and it's so impressive that he keeps getting better and better, even at 63 years old. He's still doing this stuff. He can still do the fighting action scenes. His action scenes also aren't one-sided. He's not going in and throwing guys, like hitting one guy and 7 guys go flying like when The Rock hits somebody. It looks like an actual fighting scene. And no shaky cam.
No, a lot of times though, I thought it was sped up quite a bit. And I said, "Oh, are they going to do that?" But it didn't distract me too much from everything.
No, and there were just I don't know. I enjoy Tom Cruise. He's still the only true movie star out there, as far as I'm concerned. As far as he can play almost any role.
The only true movie there?
Well, he's the only one who does his own stunts.
Okay.
He's the only one who has created his own character and owned it all the way through while doing other movies. Like, think of the different types of movies he's been able to do in his career, where all the other movie stars out there lately are all just, I can do this kind of role and I can do this kind of role and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very impressed with him.
Now I'm trying to think of another movie that I could I wanted to ask myself, is this the most enjoyable movie I've seen this year? And I'm trying to think of the movies I've seen this year. Was there another one that could be considered better than this?
Better than this?
Yeah. We must have seen a really good movie.
Well, put it this way. February and March are normally the death zones for movies. January, too. They're usually horror, like The Monkey. We saw that one.
Oh, Better Man. Better Man was a good
Better
one.
Man was last year.
We saw it this year.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It's out on video already.
Oh, we saw it this year.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
Better Man was very good, yes.
For a drama, okay, this was an action movie. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I'm happy to say that I paid money, and I'm happy I paid the money to go see this.
There you go. And definitely worth seeing in theaters on a big screen, I think.
Yep.
Don't say that about many movies. But, all right, what are you going to give it?
As much as I enjoyed it, I can't say it's a must-see, so I'll give it a 7.5.
I'm exactly right there. 7.5. Because some scenes could have been cut a little bit. But overall, and don't forget, this is supposed to be the final chapter.
However, they end it in a weird way.
Yeah, and they also, by the way, have been mentioning that he might want to play this role until he can't play it anymore. And the way he's still moved in this movie, I think he can go on for a few more years yet.
Yeah, I think if they bring another one out in 2 years, he'll be okay to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. Bangkok! Ah!
Meow.